G'day guys, welcome back to another week of building the Soleil. Initially I planned on making up one of these first sails on my own, so as basically a practice, but after reading ahead in the instructions I very soon found out that there's quite a bit involved in making it, as well as fitting it to the ship. So I thought I'll do each one on camera. Unfortunately I have done some of this one. This yard I had to make. That's 5mm dowel, which I've sanded down to 2mm on the end. We've tapered it off. The sails I've soaked in tea bags in water just to take the really bright white out of it. So what we're going to be starting with is we have 4 of these pieces here which have the 4 holes in it, and then we have this thread which is or rope which is 0.5 in thickness, and we just have to put it through the middle 2 holes. It's actually a really tight fit, but you can't drill the holes out anymore because there's just no room to open it up. Really doesn't want to, there we go, come through, and then we go back through the other middle hole. And we just pull it through so it's even. There we go. So next we take another length of rope, same thickness, and we tie it off. Here's the middle of the yard, so we tie it off close to one edge, and then later when it goes on the ship, the other end of these ropes will be tied off on the other side of that center section. So I'll just pull it through so it's even, pull it over to one side, and then we just tie a knot in that. We'll leave the threads pointing up. Just put a touch of glue there. Haven't quite done it the same length, but it doesn't really matter. These will be cut a lot shorter later on. So then next we have to put these 2 through the outer holes of that block. Those all through and pull the block up to the top. Now we just need to leave that bit of a gap in there, because when this goes on the or in this case it goes on the bowsprit, it'll be over that way, and then tie it off on this side, and that's what will attach it to the bowsprit. So you just have to leave a little bit of room there, not a massive amount. So probably that would be enough, and I'll just put a drop of glue on each side. I need to get a new nozzle for my glue. I'll do that shortly. So now we have the 4 ropes coming off. Just separate them so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, just one moment and I'll get what we need next. Next up we have these little
bearings onto each of the ropes.
We need to put one onto each
they're extremely
of
small.
the ropes. It's very difficult because they're
It doesn't help that I've got
extremely small.
Just to make this a little easier, what I've done is I've just twisted the end of it, put a little bit of CA glue on there, and then just trimmed off the end of it so it's got a little bit of a point on it, just to make it a little bit easier to go through. Okay, once we've got those 4 on, we just put yet another one of these brackets or braces on, exactly the same, 1 rope for each hole, and then we just push them up hard against the bearings up there. So now that's in position, we just put 4 more bearings, then another brace, 4 more bearings, another brace, until we've got 4 braces on there, and then we'll just tie them off. Okay, next up we just take the two middle ropes and tie a couple of knots in it, hard up against the bottom of the last brace there. And just put a little bit of glue to hold it in place. If I can get it to come out. And then we'll just trim those off. Now the remaining two ropes, we also put a knot in them. Doesn't have to be super tight, just up against the bracket. And then again a little bit of glue to hold it. And then we don't have to trim these ones off because they'll be helping attach it to the bowsprit later once we've got everything ready. Now we have to attach a fair few blocks to the sail, so I'll get those and we'll continue. Okay, we have about 12 of these single blocks that will be going onto the yards and sail. So I'm just going to do it off the sail at the moment and then add them once I've got them ready. Actually that hole has to go the other way, so it goes to the side that you're tying off on. So we're just going to be using the 0.35 rope again, and it just goes through and sits in the groove that runs around the edge of the block, or the middle of the block rather. And I just tie it off back here. Just put a drop of glue just so it doesn't fall or move out of that groove. And then I'm just going to use some 0.15 thread just to seize it. And then I'll just go around it 3 or 4 times just to seize it properly. I have a feeling this could be a very long video. There is so much to do. So yeah, I'll just put a drop of glue there just to hold it again. Oop, that was a bit much. I'll just cut that excess off. So I'll make up another one of these. I'll leave this length for now because we actually have to, I think it's leave about 50 millimeters length on it, but we'll show that once I put it on the ship or on the sail, and then we'll continue. Okay, I've fitted one of those blocks onto the yard, so I'll do the same thing on the other side. Just make a loop on the end of it. And slide it over the end of the yard there. Pull it tight. And then I'll just double check that it's the same length as the other side, which is 50 millimeters. And yep, that's the same. Drop a glue to hold it again. And then I'll just trim the excess off the top there. And then I'll start getting the next lot of blocks.
Okay, we'll just make up another two of these single blocks. This time we're using this hand thread, which is 0.15. And pretty well doing it the same way, although when this one goes onto the sail or the yard, it won't be very long at all. So it's just easier for me to pull these back all the way and clamp them. And then I'll just touch the glue again just to hold it. And then that's all the seams again. I should mention that all the blocks with these, the hole goes towards the end that we've got the tail ropes coming off.
First one of those two blocks on. That's 25 millimeters from that centre section.
From the centre.
So the next one will just go
from the centre of the yard, and then the other one goes in the same spot on the other side. So you just feed it through between the yard and the sail, and tie it off.
So that back around. Next.
Trim off the excess. So I won't show you any more of making of the blocks, I'll just get them all ready.
Okay,
and we'll go
next up we're going to have two single blocks together on each side, so I'll get those ready to go.
Okay, next up we're putting these 2 blocks here. They're still single blocks, but they go right next to each other, just at the top of the spar on the side there. So I've got another 2 here, made up exactly the same way, just using the tan rope this time. So I'll just tie a loop in that. One thing I'm going to find with doing this and putting the sail onto the ship is trying to keep my hands out of the way. It's not easy while you're trying to tie knots and things. So you just slip it up over that block with the tail there, get it on the inside of it, and try and pull it through so those blocks end up right against the yard. Which it's trying very hard not to do at the moment. Go. So as usual, I'll just put a drop of glue there to hold it, and then trim off the excess, and then we'll move on to the next lot of blocks. Okay, we just have to put one more block on each of the corners. So I've got another one here made up. I've just put it through a needle, and I'm going to put it through the corner of the sail, pull it through. And I'll just get that thread pulled through, and then I'll go back through the sail and then tie it off on the block itself. Initially I planned on including in this video adding the sail to the ship, but this has taken me a lot longer than I expect, so we'll break this video down into 2 parts, and then next week we'll add this to the ship. There's going to be a fair bit involved in that as well. We've got to add more blocks to the bowsprit. There's a lot of work to do anyway. So yeah, I'll break this up into 2 videos. There we go, we'll just add a bit of glue, cut it off. And that's basically the preparation work on this sail completed, and as I said, we'll add it to the ship next week. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you next week. Cheers.